Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I present my Wicked Witch makeup. I have been super excited to share this makeup with you guys, and I'm also excited to announce that this is my official entry for the 2018 US NYX Face Awards. I'm super excited to let you guys see the finished product, so without further ado, let's get on to the tutorial. To start this off, I use a custom prosthetic that I made a while back. To start painting the prosthetic, I use a very pale foundation to cover the whole piece. To add color to the prosthetic, I use grease and cream paints. I will also even use washes of watercolor paints and also thinned out eyeshadows. To get the old skin appearance I wanted, I used different methods between layering paints and also splattering paints. When I usually start painting prosthetics, I like to go very dark at first and then start working my way up to the lighter parts. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding the darkest paints into the darkest spots I believe that would be on the prosthetic. So right underneath the cheekbones, in between the nose, and in the eye sockets as well as the temples. To start breaking up the skin texture, I use a really dark pink to start stippling that all over the piece to start creating that really uneven skin texture that old skin has. By adding these lights and darks, you're really going to help create that realistic skin appearance. To further break up the skin, I like to add dark maroons and purples to the piece. I then go back with that pale foundation and cover all the paint we just added. This is really going to help that layering effect that I was talking about. It's really going to make it look like that paint is underneath the skin instead of just all being one flat surface. I then take that dark maroon color and start adding it into the sockets just to further deepen those up and make it look like they're really dark circles underneath the eyes. I also add this to any other places I feel got a little muted or even a little too light than I needed them to be. I also really fast just painted the bottom part of this prosthetic just to keep it in all in the color scheme. I then took that foundation and just went over the piece once again. To start making this mask a little bit dirty and aged looking, I start splattering paints on as well as watering down eyeshadows to start creating old age spots. I then pat those in with a sponge just so that they're not too sharp or have any edges. And I further use this technique around the whole mask to start making it look a little bit more sickly looking and dirty. After that, I start getting black watercolor and start splattering that all over the piece and sponging it out just so nothing is too harsh or there isn't too much in one area. To finally make sure that my paint job is done, I take a step back, look at it, and add any touches, and then add a finishing spray to seal all the makeup in so that it doesn't transfer when the application comes. To start application, I first start by applying a bald cap. In this case, I'm using a plastic bag since I was all out of my bald caps, and seal that down with masking tape so it doesn't move. I make sure to add masking tape anywhere there's hair just so that the hair doesn't get caught with the latex later on in the tutorial. After the bald cap is secure, I then make sure that the prosthetic fits nice and perfect on the face and cut anything away that is extra or isn't needed. I then take black cream paint and start coloring in anything that will be exposed within the prosthetic black. This includes both eyes, the mouth, and even sometimes the nose. I then set that paint with a black eyeshadow just so it doesn't move when I try putting on the prosthetic. After that, I then start adding liquid latex to where the prosthetics are going to meet my face so that I could adhere them. After the latex dries, I then align the prosthetic with my face and then stick it on. I then make sure all the edges of the prosthetic is glued down properly so that they don't move or rise up when painting it. I then repeat these steps with the top part of the prosthetic and also glue down those edges, making sure each edge is down and flat to the bald cap. To further cover up the edges, I add cotton and latex, and as well as tissue paper and latex on top of that. This will just help so that the prosthetic has no harsh lines and there is no seams to it. I then take that pale foundation and just start covering everything else with the skin that shows and also the bald cap. I blend that out with a sponge and I make sure to not swipe the foundation but tap it in so it doesn't move. And here I realized that the chin got a little pushed in when I was painting it, so all I did was I got a cotton swab and started pushing it out. I then just paint everything as I did with the other part of the prosthetic, making sure that it all blended in nicely and that there was no skin that was showing. I took the yellow, the red, and the dark cream paints to just start adding depth and also adding the contours to the face that I felt weren't dark enough. I then took black paint and started going in between the teeth, just making them look darker and just in general a lot nastier. I then went over the face with the splattering paint and tapping it out with a sponge just so that it all had an even texture and all looked really gross and dirty. When I was finally done painting, I sealed it all in with a finishing spray and let that dry before I started painting over the neck. For the neck, I just painted it the same way, just using the darks and lights and going back over with the foundation color. For finishing touches, I did go over with white on the teeth just to make them pop out a little bit more because I felt like they blended way too much with the skin. After that, I put on my wig and my costume and I was ready to go scare all the children in the neighborhood. If you guys like this tutorial, make sure to subscribe so you can see more in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.